What's up, guys? I'm Jared Poirier, and welcome to my movie review show where I talk about occult rituals and necromancy. Just kidding, I talk about movies. So today I want to talk about a little movie that I saw a while ago, and honestly, ever since I saw this movie, I kind of can't stop thinking about it. Because honestly, there were a lot of good things about this movie, but there were a lot of things that frustrated me as well. That's right, guys, on today's show,
we're talking about Alex Garland's.
Wow, really? This one didn't even last 3 weeks. Alright, up you go, big fella. Well, I hope this body is better than the last one. They really don't make these as good as they used to. I think that Jared was talking about Annihilation before he died. So that's pretty good. I've got a few thoughts on that movie myself. Alright, so Annihilation is directed by Alex Garland, the same guy who made 28 Days Later, Dread, and one of my favorite films of 2014, Ex Machina. And it stars Natalie Portman, Oscar Isaacs, Tessa Thompson, and Jennifer Jason Leigh. Alright, so I came up with a pretty good synopsis for Annihilation. You guys want to hear it? After her husband returns from a secret military mission with a mysterious illness, a scientist and her team investigate a zone contaminated by alien life forms. So just to give you guys a bit of background info going into this film seems like it was basically tailor-made for somebody like me to really like it. Me personally, I'm a big fan of sci-fi, particularly sci-fi that explores interesting themes. I'm also a big fan of sci-fi horror, and I really like it when elements of the horror genre are used in sci-fi movies. So going into Annihilation, I really thought that this was going to be a movie I was going to love. And although I feel like this film had a lot of potential, it really disappointed me at the end of the day, and I'm going to get into why in this review. Alright, so let's start with the acting. And of course, first I want to talk about the star of this movie, Natalie Portman. And when it comes to Natalie Portman, unfortunately, I just don't like Natalie Portman in pretty much anything. She's really bad in Star Wars, she's bad in Black Swan, and she's even bad in Thor. The only movie that I really think that she might be pretty good in is V for Vendetta. And when it comes right down to it, I just think that she wasn't right for this role. They should have got somebody like Emily Blunt.
Yeah, Natalie Portman kind of sucks. They should have got someone good like Emily Blunt to do it.
Wow, that's very thoughtful commentary, Sonia. Thank you for that. But yeah, overall, I just thought that unfortunately, Natalie Portman's acting was a lot like the acting of a lot of the other people in this movie. Pretty serviceable for the most part, but really left me wanting in some of the most crucial parts of the film. Yeah, I would say Oscar Isaac and Tessa Thompson are the standouts. Their acting was pretty good in this, but the bottom line is I did not find the acting very gripping overall. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the story, and this is where we're really going to start to get into why I found this film frustrating. So the story itself I thought was very interesting. It's kind of a play on like an alien invasion movie, but done in a very strange, a very weird, and a very original way. A good way to sum up my thoughts on the story in Annihilation is that the story is quality, it's just in the wrong order and the ending's wrong. They chose to show at the beginning of the movie that Natalie Portman actually survives her trip into the contaminated zone, and I just think that that was a mistake. I think that this movie would have been a lot better if they didn't tell you that she ultimately survives her trip into the contaminated zone. I think that there would have been more suspense, and I would have been more invested as an audience member. I also didn't really like the ending of this movie. They left it pretty ambiguous as to what is going to be the future of Earth now that we've made alien contact in this weird way. The movie was kind of building up this idea that the new species that have arrived on Earth are sort of superior to us in some ways, and I thought that it would have been very satisfying if the end of the movie really drove that theme home. And it's a good thing that I mentioned themes, because that's the next category that I want to cover in this review. And I would say that theme is where this movie is its strongest. This film explores the human drive towards self-destruction. And I thought that Annihilation explored this theme in a very thought-provoking way. And pretty much everything that happens in this movie is servicing that theme. So I would have to say that I did really like how this film had a focus, how this film explored the theme of self-destruction, and it did it in an incredibly thought-provoking way. So the final category that I want to cover are the effects. And I have to say that this film looks amazing for a $50 million movie. Garland really utilized his budget well here. This film looks much more expensive than it really is. The world that they've created felt very real. The gore effects are amazing, particularly in a scene that involves someone's belly. And there's just a whole bunch of really weird sci-fi stuff in this movie that was actually pretty original and really appealed to me. And I really liked how the effects in this movie contributed to the film's exploration of the beauty in that which is disgusting and horrible. Alright guys, so now it's time for my final thoughts on Annihilation. So all in all, I did enjoy this film, although I did find it very frustrating. This movie has a great concept, some great effects, and it explores some very thought-provoking themes. However, I found that the story wasn't structured properly. I didn't like the fact that they gave away whether or not Natalie Portman's character survives right at the beginning of the movie. I also didn't like how this film had a somewhat ambiguous ending. I wish the movie would have really driven home this idea of the beauty in the disgusting and the other idea of basically foreign alien species being somewhat superior to us. I wish that the movie would have driven both of those concepts home and really had an ending where the aliens win. And another thing that I didn't really love about this movie, to me the acting left a lot to be desired. Some of the acting was okay, but I was let down in the crucial moments, particularly by the lead, Natalie Portman. So would I recommend this movie? Well, I think that I'm going to give this one a conditional recommendation. I'd say maybe see this movie if you like weird metaphorical sci-fi movies. And yeah, I just think that with this concept and this caliber of director, that this movie really squandered a lot of potential. Although I do think that the movie would have done a little bit better and made a little bit more money had the studio had a bit more faith in it and actually promoted it a bit. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video, but if you have seen Annihilation, then go ahead and let me know down in the comments, did you like this movie a little more than I did? Or maybe you hated this movie? And now that it's getting pretty close to the end of the year, maybe let me know what were some of your favorite sci-fi films in 2018. Look forward to next week's video. I don't really know what it is. I think maybe it's going to be a review of Upgrade. So yeah, that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Alright, so how was that? Pretty human-like, right?